As part of any project, if you hire professionals, there is usually something you can do to save money. Right now, I am removing all of the trim off of the flooring so I could save maybe, I don't know, $100. So I'd say about a month ago, I reached out to a local flooring company here in town, and the owner came over, lovely guy, great guy. And he walked through the kitchen, and I told him that I would take all of the trim off as well as all of the transition trim. So if you look at anybody's kitchen, and there, you can see to the right a little bit, there is a metal piece, sometimes it's wood, that goes between the carpet and linoleum or tile and wood flooring. And those, it just takes time for people to take that off. So I told the gentleman I would take it off, no problem. And I would also take off the bifold door that's for the small little closets. That's what I'm doing in this video. So what happened after about reaching out, I got a bid for the flooring. So to get some nice white oak flooring in about 2.5 inches wide. And the reason that it's so small is because this is a 1909 home. And back in the day, they didn't have vinyl flooring that is like 4 or 5 inches. So I'm trying to get the house more traditional. Now here you can see a little piece that fell off. And that's because I know contractors and people who like to build buildings put a metal slab, no, not a metal slab, a metal kind of L-shaped bracket to make the drywall seamless. And I tell you right now, I hate it. No matter what happens, it always chips off. Now here is the closet that I'm going to take the sliding door, and it's so easy. All you do is you click down the little first part, just push it down, and then you push down the other part of the door and it comes right off. Now here you can see this door has not been dusted on the inside for about 40 years. It's true. So here's the bottom part of the bifold doors, and I took it off pretty easily. I will be putting them back. And I did wash the bifold doors with water, and then I put the orange cleaning / oil on it, so it'll be all pretty. So the gentleman came from the flooring place, and then after he came, I removed the chimney. If you haven't seen that video, go back and you can watch it. And it made a nice little hole in the floor. So he said, hey, so sorry that the wood has been back ordered. I will send some of my guys over and they can put the subfloor in. So I said, great. Well, when the guy who does the flooring showed up, he looked at the flooring and he saw that there was about 5 layers. So he took a sample and he told his boss, hey, you got to check for asbestos. So the owner said, okay, we gave it to a local asbestos removal company and it'll get back to you like in a day or two. And because this house was built in 1909, I'm sure there was asbestos. Anyway, so the guy came, he was lovely, and about 2 days later, I got information, and there was asbestos in one of the layers, and it was going to cost about $4,300. Now, what makes it a little bit more tricky is that we are keeping the cabinets. Now, the thing with asbestos is, if you don't touch it, you don't do anything with it, it's not a problem if you cover it up. So what the asbestos company is going to do is cut around all of the cabinets, and then they're going to put some kind of glue or some kind of substance so that the particles are sealed. And then that way, when the guys come and take the put the new flooring in, there's no danger. Now here you can see there's a vent right here. All of the air conditioning or heat has to be turned off if asbestos mitigation is done. And that's because they do not want asbestos flying through the house. As a resident of Washington State and that I own this house, I am allowed to take away the asbestos myself, which is a law. I'm not joking. However, I told my husband there's no way in heck that after having a sore back for 2 weeks after removing a chimney, there was no way that I was going to do this myself. I am 54 as time of this video being shown. And although I like to do stuff, I like to have projects, I don't mind. I'm not that physically fit anymore. And ripping out the flooring, I thought, let's let some young people with strong backs do it. Yeah, not doing it. And also, if you want to do this kind of asbestos removal, they have to entrap all of the doors so the asbestos goes nowhere. They do about an hour pre-asbestos removal air quality test. They then remove all of the flooring that you don't want or whatever there might be. And then they cannot leave your house until the air quality is the same or better than when they first arrived. Now you can see down there, it's kind of dirty. So these floors were put in the only time my parents ever renovated anything. I think it was the early 80s. And so over time, like my father is very handy. So if my mom maybe drops something hot on the linoleum floor or whatever kind of flooring this is, and it burns, my dad would cut it out and he'd put a new piece in. Well, over time, the glue did not hold very well. Water got stuck in there, and plus that flooring is ugly. Yeah, I know, it's so ugly. So when the asbestos guys came, I told them, hey, I'll remove all of the trim. I'll remove everything. My brother will help me move all of the appliances, and that will save us some money. So that is going to happen tomorrow. My brother, who's about 2 years younger than me, is going to come and help me move these things. And then on Monday morning at 8 o'clock, the asbestos removal will start. Once they finish, then I'll contact the flooring guys. And the flooring has been in my living room for about a week now. And so it's all ready to be put in. So you can see here how ugly the flooring is. And I like these cabinets the way they quote unquote look, but I don't really think anyone's cleaned them very well. And you can see right here all of the wear and tear. It's because that's where the sink is. So if you watched my previous video about me whitewashing bedside tables, that's my plan for the kitchen cabinets. I'm gonna sand them all down with my Surf Prep, which I love, by the way. And I'm not sponsored, but if you want to sponsor me, that would be great. And then I'm going to do a whitewash on it. But the actual cabinets themselves, probably I'm just going to paint white. It's a lot easier. Now, as I mentioned before, these bifold doors have not been washed for 40 years. My mother did dust the outside, but the inside, yeah, whoever thinks about this. Now, nobody asked my opinion, but I must tell you, I hate these bifold doors. I don't understand why you'd have to have air circulation going through. I understand if maybe you're going to cover up a radiator or something that needs air, but why people used these in the 80s is beyond me. I would find something different if this was in an area that anybody really saw very much. It does do a good job of covering up things that aren't organized well. I did ask my mom if she wanted me just to not put it back up again, but she did say, well, it's nice because then the things behind it don't get as dirty as if there wasn't a door at all. However, these are one of the things that I'm like, what the heck? Who thought of these? Who? They are ugly. Now, in my apartment that I do rent right now, I did get some of these for the windows. And the thing about those is all of the levers open up and close. So that way you can adjust how much sunshine gets through. That's great. But why would you have these kind of bifold, what are they called? I'm sure somebody in the comment section can tell me what these are called. I want to say Venetian blinds. That's not what they're called. But with a little, when you can get air through them, and they're really hard to clean. So people, do not get these. They're so difficult to clean. I hate them. So after I spent about 5 minutes trying to get all the dust off of these, I said to myself, you know what? This is all stained wood that has a lacquer all over it. I'm going to bring it upstairs to the bedroom, and then I'm going to spray it all off. And the only thing I'm a little bit sad about is that I did not get any really good pictures of the dirt that came off. So even though I used clean green to try to get this thing pretty clean, you can see how dirty the water is right here. Yeah. The dirt still comes off. That's what I'm telling you. I know it was 40 years, but still. These are so difficult to get. Now, I also do not like the barn doors unless you live in a country house or a barn, because on either side, you can't really put artwork or anything. I do think that pocket doors are the best way. You can hide them away. You can put art in front of them. It's just so much better. So here is the upstairs bathroom. I did a video of cleaning the floor in here. Now, this bathroom was also done back when the kitchen was done. However, my mom chose this faux marble inset, and it's held up very well. And she also likes this green color. Now, when I was a kid, I stripped off about 5 layers of paint on all of the wood in this bathroom. I'm not even joking. So I'm trying to get rid of all of the paint. I know lots of people like painted wood. I mostly hate it. If there is some bad quality wood, or like right now I'm doing a piece that was like basically that kind of wood that's been like sprayed on. It's not even real. It's press board, and then they have a fake wood veneer kind of thing looking on. It's not even veneer. It's like plastic. So there, people would say, oh, why would you paint wood? Well, it's not wood, right? I love wood because you can alter it. You can do so many things. So look at this nice dresser right here. It's an inset dresser for the bathroom. And yes, literally it had 5 layers. Anyway, I think I did a video about that way back in the day. And when I wanted to paint the pulls, this is before YouTube. If your mom or dad or a friend couldn't tell you how to do things, you had to trust people at stores. So I went to a local store and I asked one of the guys who was working there, I said, hey, here's my pull that I want to, shine up or spray. And he said, oh, you can't spray that. You have to buy new ones. And I was probably about, I don't know, I was driving. So maybe I was 17 or 16 years old. And I just couldn't believe it. Why can't you spray paint metal, right? So I went to the local hardware store and I got some spray paints that was silver. And then I got some sandpaper to rough it up. And guess what? Oh yeah, it's been how many years? Yeah, so at least, let's see, about 30 years. Yeah, that's right. So just because somebody who works at a store tells you something, number one, do your research. Find other people who agree with you. And that's the same thing as when you travel. Whenever I travel, I ask my husband, what do you think about blah, blah? And he will tell me. And then I'll say, okay, that sounds good. I'm going to ask a few other people. And if I get 3 people who all agree with the same information, then I believe it. If it's only one person, don't believe that person. Also, now that we have YouTube, oh my goodness. How did I learn how to take this bifold door off? I went to YouTube and I said, how to remove a bifold door. And the guy's like, you push this, you pull down, bam, it comes out. Yeah, thank you, YouTube. And I know that I might sound like I'm a brown noser, but I'm not. Now, for any of you who are not from America or use the term brown nosing, that is an idiom. And an idiom is something that you say, but is not literally what it means. So it's a kind of vulgar term, actually, if you think about it. And it's kind of like if you are kissing someone's bottom, then your nose might get brown. So that is, it's a very vulgar term if you think about it. But as an English teacher overseas, I did have to tell people what things meant, because when you say things and you don't know what they mean, then you kind of sometimes seem maybe more vulgar than what you want to be like. So when I was teaching in the United Arab Emirates, the ladies are very lovely, the ones I had for students. And they would never say anything vulgar, but they watch TV. So a lot of them would say S-H-I-T. And I would say to them, do you know what that means? And they'd say, no. And I'd tell them, I'd say, babies when they go poo-poo. And I said, that's what you're saying, basically. And they would go, oh my goodness. So if you travel or if you go someplace, just because someone says something, it doesn't mean it's appropriate to say. However, you say whatever you want. I really don't care, but you really need to know. Now, I'm opening up the windows here because of the smell of the polish. It's pretty strong. It does smell like oranges. However, yeah, yeah, a little strong. So you can see how pretty this looks. I love it. Yeah, I try to wax and take care of the wood in the house, but, I don't know where all the dust is coming from. So every once in a while I look around and I'm like, do I have bad eyesight or is there like dust floating around? Anyway, so this is our upstairs bathroom. It used to be a bedroom back in 1909. There were 3 bedrooms upstairs, and they used to rent out one of the bedrooms to, or actually 2 of them, I believe, to renters. So my sister looked in the old census, and there was the family, I believe, plus 2 renters. Then once indoor plumbing came, they took this bathroom and they made it, this bedroom, and made it into a bathroom. And that's why I believe that beautiful built-in drawer unit is there, because of course, once upon a time, somebody lived here. Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah, I love this house. I'm trying to get it back to oldie but goodie. So everything I'm trying to do is making it back to the way it used to be, but with modern finishes. So if you like this video, stay tuned for more videos that are coming your way about fixing up the kitchen. The next thing will be the asbestos removal, if I can get any shots about that. And then there's going to be some videos about the guys putting in the flooring. And the owner of the flooring place said he has enough time that they could probably fit it in. It'll take a lot less time now because of the flooring being removed because of asbestos. Now, once again, asbestos, if you don't mess around with it, it's fine. It's actually a naturally occurring element. And here locally, there's a mountain full of asbestos, which is bad for landslides. Anyway, subscribe, have a great day, and talk to you later.